Hey there everybody, Jason here, and today I kind of want to give a little bit of a rant. So let's talk about cable internet, and let's talk specifically about Cox Communications and how wonderfully awful they are. All right, so as you know, or as you may know, if you've been keeping up with like any of my vlogs, or if you've seen any of my posts on Instagram, or seen anything that I posted on Twitch or Twitter, I've been having a little bit of a fight with internet in order to get everything sort of going. And at first it was okay, because I was uploading a lot of stuff, just from my phone. I was doing like a video here and there. But now, like, I'm streaming 3 or maybe 4 times a week, and I'm uploading those videos, and I'm also filming and recording other stuff and then uploading those. And I uploaded a video where sorry, I just got home from work. I basically put videos up every single day, and in order to do that I need access to internet to put it up there. And so I found that if I'm going to do some of these things, I need to have a more reliable internet connection. So I upgraded my internet and got the best one that I could get. And everything seemed fine at first, but then like the day after I realized this isn't working right. So I had to make a call in, and I had to get them to come out and actually take a look at it. And lo and behold, something wasn't right, so they fixed it. And they said they were taking care of the charge because, it was not my fault, it was just their equipment. So everything was fine. So everything goes along that way for a good couple weeks. And then all of a sudden, I have to postpone a few streams, and I have to cancel a couple others. All because I can't get my upload speed to be good. I've got a fine download speed, but just no upload. And so I have to call another guy out. And it's the same guy that came out the first time. And basically what he tells me is that nothing wrong with my equipment. The issue that I'm having is at the main hub on the side of my building. It looks like somebody else had come in and done work on the wires, and they had, I don't know, like I was losing my upstream. And he said it was only like a 3% packet loss, if that means anything to anyone watching this. But that was greatly affecting my ability to do what I wanted to do. And so they actually had to call like a maintenance on the line to have them come fix that, because he couldn't actually repair that. And so I had to wait another day for that one. And so that was a hefty chunk out of my time that I could have been doing all this sort of stuff. And after that, everything was okay. Everything went back to normal, and it was fine. And then the same things happened again. Like, I went to stream No Man's Sky, and I'm not so familiar with how streaming works on the PS4 just yet. So when I received a notification on the PS4, I thought, that it was ending my stream, so I checked, but the stream was still going, so I was like, oh, everything is okay. Maybe that was just like a little hiccup here, just this once. But as it turns out, I streamed for almost 6 hours, and I think out of that 6 hours, I might have 45 minutes of actual video, and out of that 45 minutes of video, there might be 5 minutes of it that doesn't look like absolute garbage. Which sucks. I actually went through a black hole. I found a thing. I came across like another person's planets. I've never done that yet. But, I don't know, it's whatever. So, I call up Cox today, and this is after I've done everything that I could possibly think of. I've, reset everything. I've cleared the cache on anything that's connecting to the internet. I've unplugged and let it reset the modem. Everything from my end. And like the last thing that I did was I decided, well, I can't do the work that I wanted to do today. So therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the modem, and I'm going to leave. And so when I left, that's when I went and saw the movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Came home and plugged everything back in. Gave it an hour to sort of get back up and running. Didn't try using the internet at all. I just filmed like a little thing. I finished up like a Lego build that I was doing. But when I go back to check it, I'm still getting the low speeds. And what I mean by low speeds is my download was fine. I was like, even through my phone on a wireless connection, I was getting in anywhere from like 150 on the slower connection to 280 megabytes per second on the faster connection wirelessly. And my upload speed was a fantastic top out at 2.4 megabytes per second. I think the highest that I got was 8 megabytes per second, and that was when my laptop was wired to the actual modem, and that was using Cox's own speed test thing, which I don't trust. Like, I really don't trust it. It's like I've used the website that they use that they say is sponsored their web test, and I don't get the same results. But then again, it's probably pinging a different spot, and it's not going directly to their servers, and I would hate to think that those numbers are like inflated, so that basically it's an excuse for them to tell their customers that their actual results are perfectly fine, when in reality they are not. So anyway, I call Cox and I wait for a few minutes, get picked up, and the guy on the other end starts talking to me, and he's basically just like, yeah, okay. And so I tell him, what's going on. He's like, yeah, I understand. It's like, I get it. I understand. I'm like, sounds like you do. And basically I tell him, it's like, look, I'm trying to do something here. Like, I need internet to actually do what I'm doing. Like, I tell him that I'm trying to stream on Twitch. I'm trying to upload on YouTube. And for me, like, the biggest part is I want to be consistent. And if I can't be consistent, I'm sure as hell gonna try to fix that. But the thing that sucks is that when the inconsistencies are not of my own fault, and I don't want my shortcomings to be blamed on another person. Like, if I'm gonna be failing at something, I sure as hell want it to be my fault. Because, I'll take ownership for what I do wrong. I mean, I know that I'm not perfect, and I know that by no means am I any sort of YouTube personality that's super famous. I'm doing this purely for fun. If people start watching me, if I get picked up, by like a group of people, if people start really liking what I'm doing, then that's fine. That's what comes of it. But I'm doing this for myself. And yeah, I am actually trying to make a good go of it. But for me, if I can't be reliable, I'm going to find out how to make myself reliable. And so therefore, their service needs to be as reliable. And all it is, I'm asking for internet connection. I'm paying money for it. I'm renting their hardware. I'm contacting them when I have issues. And I just want them to actually resolve it. But thankfully, with that phone call, something weird happened. It sounded like he was calling somebody, and then he hung up on me. And and he hung up on me roughly at the time where I was proving to him that I was online, because he was saying that I wasn't. And I'm like, I am. I'm connected to the internet. And I told him, it's like, if I did a speed test on my end through your web server, would it show up on your end? And he said, yeah, it should show up in just a couple minutes. So basically, I gave him the play-by-play. I told him that I had an upload speed of 50 megabits per second through my laptop, which is, a download speed of 50 megabytes, which is perfectly reasonable. It's an old laptop. It doesn't have the best connectivity. But as far as upload speed, I should be able to get like 25 to 30 megabytes per second. But I was hitting a top out of like 6. And I told him that I tested it on my phone through the wireless, and I told him I got a 279 megabytes per second download, and then I got a 2.2 megabytes per second upload. And that's when he just cut out on me. And so I call back. I have to wait on hold for, I think, like 10 minutes or so. And when I finally get picked up, I asked the guy, it's like, did the previous guy leave any notes? And he said, it's like, nah, not really. All he did was write down upload speed of 2.2. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So now I've got to spend 15 more minutes explaining everything from scratch. And on top of that, I have no idea what's going on with like our phone connection, but I'm already mad. Like I'm furious. And there's some sort of feedback that's happening that when I talk to him, I hear like garbled fart monster noises on the other end coming back at my ear. He hears nothing. Good for him, but on my end, I can't talk unless I want to hear just like background demons. And, but that's regardless. Basically, the background noises were driving me crazy. I make him take my phone number so he can call me back and hopefully the line will clear. And it didn't. And so basically, I'm trying to tell him things, and I'm just like, in the middle of everything that I'm saying, like, God damn it. And I, and like, I'm having to like stop so that the garbling will go away. One, so I can hear him, and two, so that I can actually collect my thought, and say it again before I get drowned out by monsters. So I'm just getting like more mad. And I actually do apologize to him. I say, it's like, look, I'm sorry that I'm getting like really mad. But it's just like this noise that I'm hearing is driving me crazy, and like I'm already upset, so it doesn't really help anything at all. So, I mean, I felt bad for the guy at that one, and this guy, at least he was trying to help, and he seemed like he was actually listening, and I swear to God, he better have been writing down some notes. But I mean, the ultimate end game here is, it's like I tell him, it's like, look, this needs to be fixed. If there was any other cable like provider, and because I'm not doing satellite internet, hell no. But if there was some other cable provider that could give me service that was more reliable than them, I would leave Cox right now. Like, done. Do I need to pay $100 to do it? Sure, I'll pay. Sign me up. But no, I would leave Cox immediately. Like, I swear to God, if Google Fiber ever comes out this way, I'm on that boat. I'll do that. But I don't know. It's just like, and basically what it ended up with is that, seeing as this is the third time that this has happened, and might I add, this is the third time in just a little bit over a month since I did the upgrade, that I've called for the same sort of issue, like speed issues, on the same connection since I upgraded to it. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like, I'm paying money for this. Give me what I'm paying for. So it's basically been escalated to the point where I now need to have a talk with, I guess, a tech supervisor that's going to come out and see me tomorrow. Sometime between like 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the evening, because I work during the day. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I wish that there was more options. I wish there was a better way to do internet. I wish that there was more ways for me to actually get my content up there. I mean, I would gladly download it all onto like a micro SD card, put it on my phone, and then just use my phone's data to upload everything, because at least then I know that it's reliable. But that's a lot of freaking work, and I'm not about to do that. But anyway, this is just a rant. I feel bad because it's like, I got really mad because I know, as a consumer, you get really upset about certain things, and you kind of take your blame on whoever it is that happens to talk to you at the time. And trust me, working in retail, I get it like every day. And I mean, that's why I had to apologize to the guy for getting so incredibly mad because of the feedback. But it's just like, all I want is just for my stuff to work properly. And I want a reason. I want an answer. So that's all this is. This is just me ranting, sort of talking about it. I mean, it does kind of let you know like where I sit as far as like my internet status and why I missed my stream tonight. I think this is 2 weeks in a row now that I haven't done Doom. And the first week was just because No Man's Sky came out, and I streamed that game for like 7 hours that day, and it like eclipsed and went past the time that I would have normally streamed Doom. So, but this time it's quite literally just because I just couldn't do it. I'm not going to put up like a poor quality stream if I can help it. I'm learning, this is all new to me, like all of this stuff. And yeah, it's like, I'm doing this just as a hobby. I'm doing this for fun. It's like, I thank God or Satan, whoever's helping me, for the people that actually watch my videos. Like, I think it's fantastic. It's certainly interesting to me. Like, this is definitely like a new thing. But anyway, if you have had similar experiences, let me know. If you want to rant at me about it, let's compare our stories. I'd really like to hear from you. But yeah, see you guys later. Bye-bye. All right then, so just as a little follow-up to the previous part, it's a day later after my rant, and I've been visited by Cox, and the best way to put this is that the visit sucked ass. I went to work in the morning and got home, and I tested the connection just to make sure everything was as it was when I left. And when I got home, everything was fine. So basically, I don't know whether someone had done repairs or if whatever weird outage was there was gone. But basically, what it resulted in was a visit from a tech that basically wouldn't believe me and said that he didn't trust my sources of information, and plugged in his laptop into my router, did a test, pointed at the screen a few times, did the test a couple times, while listening to me tell him that, I just want reliability, that I feel that something's wrong with the actual line, not the equipment that I have in the home. He didn't even test everything. Like, he didn't test the line coming in from the wall for, like, the signal speed. He didn't go and check the box, as far as I know. So it's just like, what do I do this for? Like, why? Like, what am I paying for? Seriously. So, that's basically it. Apparently everything's fine, but probably going to go bad again later. And I'm going to have no explanation for it other than the fact that maybe a few days out of the week it could happen on a day that I'm going to stream. It could be completely fine and happen some other time, but I'm probably going to have, like, some sort of outage or slowing in speed, like, once a month. And I completely understand that technology works that way. I completely understand that internet is unreliable, but still, it's just like, if I'm calling you and telling you that there's a problem, at least believe me. What a bunch of absolute shit. Anyway, again, if you have any thoughts on Cox, actually, I regret to even say that because I'm pretty sure that the overall opinion is negative. I mean, I've had help from a really nice tech. Came to my house twice. Really nice guy. Said he was playing Pokemon Go with his kids, asked me about it. But, it's just, for the most part, it's just like their service, it just sucks. And if I had any other options, I would go with it immediately. And I wish that there was a way to contact anyone to sell them sort of like what happened. But that's it. I guess I'll just post this rant and hope that it gets somewhere, but it probably won't, because, it's whatever. This is just for me. Bye-bye for now. I'm off to search for different ways to access the internet. I better invent the Matrix.